Hoi there everyone, this is FatesFanboy speaking and welcome back to Inazuma 11 GO Strikers. Episode 10, and this episode was supposed to be a pretty momentous occasion. Not just because it's episode 10 of the series, I like to go by the table of 5, every 5th episode is a sort of milestone I'd like to think. But not just that, on the day this video will go up, it will actually be my birthday. The 21st of May is my birthday, and honestly I think I timed that pretty well to have it coincide with the 10th episode. But yeah, I said supposed to be, because in reality, a lot of things went wrong, sadly. As you may have noticed, there is one particular character that we didn't have on the team before that is now very prominently on screen. My favorite character, Archer Hawkins, is finally on our team. But why? Because we haven't faced Inazuma National yet, have we? Well, the thing is, I have. I did record my match against Inazuma National. I recruited our characters, I did some recommendations, I picked up my favorite character, and as it turns out, the recording didn't go as I planned. Now to start with, it was like 28 degrees Celsius outside. It was absolutely scorching, at least by my standards, and inside my room it was incredibly stuffy. I was sweating bullets all the way through the recording, which already made it kind of a pain. My laptop was fanning, which it usually is, but now even more so. My audio settings had been randomly changed by my computer. I usually have my headphone recording volume set to a set level, but now that had been decreased by about, I'll say 20%. So I was sounding way too soft. And on top of that, before even finding out I sounded too soft, the audio actually corrupted, so I had to painstakingly convert it to another type of file. Yeah, I'm not going to bother you with the specifics, but let's just say a lot went wrong, a lot more than I would have wished for on the 10th episode of this series, and also the episode that was supposed to air on my birthday. But alas, I suppose that is just how things go. So the current state of things. We have picked up on Dark Empress Kevin, as per RXR's recommendation, as he suggested we pick him up considering we also have Nathan and Max, so in the long run we can get access to Dark Phoenix if we do want to. And he also starts off with a pretty good dribbling move. That is something I at least recall RXR mentioning. Yes, he does come with a level 3 dribble move, which I suspect is Rising Dragon, but I might be wrong about that. I'm just judging that by the Earth element and the fact that it's a level 3 move. And he also has a level 3 kick, which I'm not entirely sure what it is yet. And then, yeah, I obviously picked up on my boy Hawkins. He was the character I was looking forward to most for recruiting. I mean, he's my favorite character, so of course I was looking forward to getting him. But yeah, he's on the team now, pretty cool. I am looking forward to using him. Of course, I would have liked it to be a bit more authentic. I would have liked to actually show you my authentic reaction. But, you know what, I think I can probably simulate my reaction. I think I can probably try to relive my original reaction. I believe it went something like this. Oh, here we go. Where's my boy? Where is he? Where is he? There he is! Let's fucking go! I might have overdone it a bit. Anyway, what I owe you is a match against Inazuma National, and also some extra stuff. But I don't entirely know if I can do those again, because there was a secret player, there was a coach and a manager that we recruited. We obviously cannot recruit them again. But I can show you them in a less exciting fashion, I suppose. But we're going to do the best we can to get by, and I'm going to give you that match against Inazuma National. So yeah, we're going to head back to Leocott Island, and we are going to face Inazuma National. For a second time, I suppose. Okay, here we go, Leocott Island. And yes, as you can see, I did put Archer as our captain. Rusty has been replaced. That does not mean he will be axed from the team. In fact, I would like to really keep him, but of course I cannot do anything else but put my favorite character as our captain. So we'll be seeing Hawkins on the map screen from this point onward. And yeah, I planted myself here because I had fully prepared to face the International All-Stars next episode, which we still will, but for now we have to backtrack a tiny bit to Inazuma National. As you can see, oh, I can actually relive this. Okay, we got my favorite coach, Percy Travis, and yeah, I have set him as our coach. So that is something I'm very excited about. And then we also revealed that this team is the girls' team. Yes, the girls' team were kind of shoehorned into this map. They never really showed up in the anime to begin with, but they were like a sort of Easter egg in the first Strikers game, I believe. So they'll also be someone we'll be facing because they do lock the way to a golden chest, which I can open because I completed the first map, but we shall not be facing them just yet. We're going to finish up the story of this map, first of all. So that is something for further down the line. We also got Cammy as a manager, which is cool. I think she's a pretty cute character. I like her arc in the game and in the anime, but I don't think she's anything special enough to swap Jade out for the time being at least. And then, yeah, first and foremost, we were going to face Inazuma National, so that is exactly what we'll do. Retroactively, I suppose. There we go. This is the new formation, as I had wanted to go into the match against International All-Stars, but I suppose there's nothing else for it but to just run it for this match instead. So I am putting in Dark Empress Kevin just to see what he has to offer, and I'm putting in Hawkins in the defense, and then I'm leaving Rusty on the midfield. Because the situation as it is right now, Rusty does have a defensive move, but the 3 defenders we have now all have blocking moves. Dark Empress Nathan has Air Bullet, Shadow has Diabolical Cut, and Hawkins of course has his trademark Vac attack or Shinkuma. So I will in fact put him center defense. Oh yeah, and then Wits is in the midfield. I do not have a Supernova or Space Penguin with him yet, but I think I will put him in for a little while because he does also have a defensive move, so we'll actually have a really strong defense with these back 5 characters. And I believe that should be all to cover. Yeah. I did take a quick peek at the enemy team last time. I was kind of hyping over Hawkins, obviously, and then I noted how this team is basically the team as it is after Fire Dragon, I believe. Because Hawkins is actually a set part of the defense instead of Hurley, and I believe that only happens during Fire Dragon and beyond. So, yeah, a little bit of trivia for you guys. And I think that's all we really need to do. So with that in mind, we'll actually head into the match. Here we go! Another match against Inazuma National. I didn't think it would happen, but on the one hand this isn't entirely negative. And why is this not negative? Well, because I rambled about Inazuma National and about Hawkins through the entirety of my original match, and I mostly recall what I said, so now I actually have some topic prepared to talk about, instead of having to think of them on the fly. So, first of all, I'm just going to talk about Inazuma National as a team here. So, ironically, Inazuma National really is not threatening in the slightest. I think, ironically, their weakest link is Mark, the keeper. While he's often portrayed to be like insanely overpowered in most arcs, he's really just not worth the trouble in this team. Like, there we go. I mean, I know I had a mental advantage, but still, you're not going to believe how shitty Mark is in this team, actually. Like, by default, I could probably break Ichigen the hand with most of the shots I have on this team. But I hope I can demonstrate that to you in full force. And there we go! My boy! Shinkuma! Already putting in the work. That is what we love to see. He's going to be a very valuable asset, I hope. And actually, let's see if I can discover what Kevin's level 3 move is here before Sean blocks us. What? Wait, seriously? They gave him the samurai, the katana kick. For real. Okay, well, sure, I'm not complaining. Oh. And I think I might actually have given Mark a little bit too much slack. Or is it flack? I don't really know, honestly. Well, in any case, I've given Mark too little credit, because he did stop a level 3 move there. Though I suppose it was from a fair distance. If Sean hadn't blocked us, I'm sure we would have scored. Oh? No, don't lag on me, come on. Don't be like that. But yeah, Inazuma National, realistically, is not that great of a team. Like, he's going for a level 2 move, I don't know why, he's getting overconfident. I do love seeing this move, but he's not going to stop God knows with that. Oh, well. He did it because he was out of TP. That's another thing. This Mark also runs out of TP pretty quickly, I want to say. Like most keepers do, especially when you have those expensive keeper moves, like King does. But Mark is a surprising exception, I want to say. Because I recall that in regular Rayman, he was actually he had much more longevity, I want to say. But perhaps that was just a figment of my imagination. Can we find anyone with a kicking move, please? Oh, he did it. He did the os. Well, I mean, I can only consider this as like a double gift, right? Getting to see Hawkins on 2 teams at once. I think I should be grateful, honestly. No, actually not. That screw up with the audio really did give me a bit of a headache. Because this week has been busy enough as it stands, and I really didn't think I'd have the time to record this a second time, but things have loosened up a tiny bit. My schedule has loosened up, luckily. Okay, Mark, okay. Showing off just after I've said that you're not that great of a keeper. I see how it is. Let's go, Shadow. There we go. I assure you, Mark wasn't like this when I first played against him. He was blocking nothing. And now he suddenly starts showing off. Go figure. He's trying to catch this. I don't think he has TP to actually do any... Oh, he does. Well, I'm forced to eat my words again. But in a positive way this time. 3-0. Yeah, ironically... Let's see actually what dribble move he has. I want to see. It is Rising Dragon, so I was correct. Okay. So basically, he just took... oh, don't pull this crap again. Come on. So basically, he just copied... what's his name? Ryoma's moves from new Inazuma. Which I suppose is fair, because I think they're actually based off each other, or at least... No, Ryoma actually played under Kevin as a coach in the Go arc, I believe. So that's pretty cool, and that was Emperor Penguin number 1, so I should take care to pull no punches. There we go. King showing his worth. That upgrade to his Neo-National version was fully worth it, and that was probably the most atrocious keeper kick I've had so far. Can we stop Hobbs before he pulls off the Tigers? No! I slid Axel! Why did it not cancel the... Okay. I don't feel that's entirely fair, somehow. And I fear this is going to be a counter goal. Even though this isn't the strongest co-op move, I kind of dread our chances of stopping this. King, please? Yo! What did I say? The upgrade to Neo National was 100% worth it. And I stand by that. Doubly now. Alright, Steve. Pull up. Yeah, there we go. Now, Max isn't the strongest kicker, but I think we should still be able to score. We do have the elemental advantage. But I've been breaking up my sentences again. Sorry, bad habit. Inazuma National, ironically, is one of the teams I've had the least trouble with throughout the series. As I say that, Mark blocks another of my shots, which really is not helping my case, but it is quite alright. I believe recalling Aphrodite had... Yes. Oh, Hawkins, don't get too close. There we go. Now I can finally finish my sentence. So Inazuma National I've never had trouble with before. Not in the first game, not in this game. I believe, actually, my highest goal count was against Inazuma National in the first game. I'll recall winning against this team with like 21-0. And now Mark is just popping off. What do you mean? I can show you the tapes. Like, he literally stopped nothing. Oh, Hawkins is joining in. I love that. I love that duo. Oh, the cornerstones of our team. Rusty and Hawkins. Excellent. Okay. Kevin does not have TP left, so we should take care to switch him out during the halftime. Hawkins lost his power ring, so we can push on with Gazelle. Whittingale, I should say, because this is his Fire Dragon version. And then I hope Mark will not further embarrass me by stopping another shot. I dare you. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. Like, I'm actually going to pull up the final score count of the original recording. And I'm going to put it on screen after Hobbs' move, ideally. Or just somewhere in the corner, you'll see. It was much higher than it's looking to be right now. I think we might have to switch out King as well during the break. He is getting kind of low, his moves are rather expensive, and he doesn't have much TP to spare, so I'm going to try and keep the ball here. And then we should be good for the halftime. There we go. So 4-0. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I'm pretty happy with that. I think we can safely go for the 5-0, which would be a very satisfying goal count, in my opinion. So Zine's coming back in, and I am putting in Peabody. And let's see... I think the rest should be pretty good, honestly. Yeah. But actually, that reminds me, now that I see Rusty's bars here, he does have 2 levels of his bar, and someone actually left a comment about that on one of my videos, because I was asking myself what the second level really does, because it doesn't directly bump up your stats. And Caleb Manphobic, thank you very much for your comments, because he explains the second level of the blue bar gives you like stat boosts you can't see in-game. Example being Kazemaru Inazuma Japan, who will have 80 is A body if he's maxed without the blue bars, but if you have the blue bars up to level 2, you'll receive 90 body instead, so A+. Basically, in layman terms, you get invisible stat buffs. How handy that's going to be, I have yet to see, but I suppose that will come through quite well when we are going to shoot, defend, dribble, you name it. So that is something we will always reach for. There's literally no downsides, even though the upsides aren't directly visible either. So that is good to finally know. Finally, peace of mind about what that does. That's not what I want. I actually want to shoot. There we go. We can push another Revolution V. There we go. Okay. Now, perhaps it might be good to delve into why Hawkins is actually my favorite character to begin with. After I scored this amazing goal against a defenseless Mark, 5-0. There it is, the illustrious 5-0. It returns. Now we just have to keep a clean slate ourselves. We just have to keep a clean record. And yes, I was going to talk about why I love Hawkins so much to begin with. So I have to note, first of all, that Hawkins wasn't always my favorite character. In fact, my first favorite character... Oh, we have to switch Gazelle. Whittingale. My first favorite character was actually Torch, or Beacons, however you want to call him. Oh, you should have blocked that, Rusty. That's alright. Yes, my boy Hawkins. It only really dawned on me that he was my favorite character during one of my summer holidays. I think it must have been like 2 years ago by this point. Because during the summer holidays, me and my brothers always like to pick up Inazuma 11 again, play some friendly matches against one another, it's always a good time. But at some point, I realized, this guy has probably the coolest design throughout the franchise, in my opinion. He has a cool voice, an amazing move, and I used him in pretty much every game from his introduction, so Inazuma 11 3. So why is he not my favorite character? And that is something I began asking myself more thoroughly. And from that point onward, I suppose it only really just, it began to make sense. Everything fell into place. He was my favorite character, deep in my heart, but I just didn't realize it yet. And that realization actually also brought me to another pretty, well, a pretty, I want to say, impactful choice I made down the line. Because my love for Hawkins and my, I want to say, accidental discovery of the multi-language series, which was originally conceived by Miki, a good friend of mine, against whom I played the friendly matches you saw in last week's video. I do hope you enjoyed that, by the way. If you didn't see that yet, then you can check it out through the link in the top right, the card that's going to definitely show up, because I will definitely remember that. But yeah, his multi-language videos, I stumbled upon them by chance, and I remember really enjoying them. I've always had kind of an affinity for languages, and also for Inazuma 11, obviously. So, and Steve makes the 7-0, by the way, just a quick interjection. Excellent. Didn't expect him to, because they were fired up. But anyway, multi-language videos. I kind of binge-watched all of them during that fateful vacation, during which I realized my love for Hawkins. And I wondered why he wasn't there for an episode for Vac Attack. So I began searching a little bit more, and yeah, there just was nothing available. So that's when I decided, okay, if there's none, then why don't I make one myself? You know? And I really don't like how it's lagging here. But yeah, basically, my budding love for Hawkins was the reason I started the multi-language series. Now, isn't that interesting? I think that's a pretty interesting fact to know about me. So yeah, that's like a double shout-out to Hawkins, I suppose, for being my favorite character, becoming my favorite character, and for making me start on the multi-language series, which really became quite popular, at least in its starting days. And which has also grown to become my favorite franchise to keep up with, to actually create. Because I don't think it would be an understatement to say that those videos, although they are quite easy to compose, I should say, they are probably my favorite to make to this day. So yeah, that's a bit of backstory about me, I suppose, as a Inazuma 11 fan and as a creator. Now, back to the match at hand. We are going to push past Jack here and going to go for a hat-trick with Aphrodite, on whose birthday I actually recorded the initial episode. The 17th of May was his birthday, and I was going to call it the double birthday episode. But I don't think that's fully justified anymore. In any case, belated birthday gift, Aphrodite, a hat-trick for you. Though he is low right now, that's kind of unfortunate because we've run out of functional forwards. Well, I'm sure we'll be fine. We're up 8-0 already, so I think we should be golden. I think it would be nice to really drive my point home by making the 10-0 against this team, but I think I'll be quite content with an 8-0 as well. There we go, Peabody booting through. Continues to do an excellent job. One for which I am very thankful to Malgesto L for suggesting him in the first place, because I'd forgotten just how absolutely cracked Peabody is in this game. And in the first game as well, for no reason. But well, I can only be glad, can't I? The mountain! I've always loved how he says that. Jack is so goofy, but that's also one of the reasons why this team is one of my favorites. Maybe even my absolute favorite, not just because Hawkins is on it, also just because of their vast array of just amazingly designed moves. Like, I'm talking Shinkuruma, obviously. I'm mostly talking Ikari no Tetsui. I'm also talking, like, co-op moves. They have so many co-op moves, that's like the best part. They're just such a cohesive team that they can pull off so many cool co-op moves, like the Hurricane, the Birth. I want to say something else, but I can't think of any. Thunder Beast, though it doesn't show up as many, it's not as prominent because Stoutberg is not that prominent of a player, I believe. And Hawkins was about to absolutely destroy me. Luckily I pulled out in time. Not sure if we're going to score with this, but that should be quite alright. Yeah, this move, I think it's such a cool just application of magic in the hand, really. Like, it just evolved into a punch, just a massive overhead swing onto the ball. Just cool. It's amazing. But yeah, also things like just... Well, that's why I'm kind of disappointed that they have Stonewall on the bench by default in this team, because Stonewall actually enables some pretty great moves, like especially Killer Fields. That's such a cool move. Just the culmination of kind of, I want to say Jude and Stonewall's rivalry, combining into a co-op move of all things, and then he also enables Emperor Penguin number 3. Yeah, it's so cool. But yeah. That was the overdue match against my favorite team and against my favorite character. This was good. This was good. A much more organized game, much less chaotic than my initial recording, which I am kind of happy about. And it looks like I can still show off everything I wanted to, and I can still discuss everything I wanted to with you guys. Which I can only be happy for. Let's see, are we going to get any upgrades? We are, and we're going to get a bunch of points, which is very good, very good. So, Wits leveled up, alright, pretty decent. Has access to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 A stats, including Guard and Kick, which are exactly the things he's supposed to be good at, so that is excellent. Hawkins is getting by, Ironically, well, it's not ironic, but it's kind of funny. He actually has access to S-Kick, and nothing else. But it makes sense. It makes sense. He is known for his kicking, after all. Like, how could you not give the guy who can kick through literal rock an S stat in kick in this game? Do kind of hate how he did him dirty with the portrait here. Like, what was the need to have his one eye open like that? He should have just designed him with both of his eyes like the left one. That would have been much better, I feel. But oh well. It's fine. I do still love his implementation in this game. And the good part is, yeah, we still get to celebrate. We still get to dance on Sean's wallowing self. And we get to move on to the last components of this match, which was going to be a secret character, but it's not very much secret now. Okay, we can challenge Dear Kappa here again. So yeah, if you've seen the anime, we're literally in the middle of the forest, and which is where they encounter, I believe it's 3 Kappas, maybe 2? And they play a match against the Kappas. It's actually pretty funny. I want to say diversion from the actual storyline. But yeah, we have to beat them in an eating contest. And there's actually a trick to this minigame, which is you can eat at most 7 plates during one go before you have to cool down with a glass of water, I imagine. So you can actually go by the table of 7 and stop every time you hit one of those before you accidentally burn out, like Kappa there. You're actually stunned for a very long time if you do get overheated, I should say. But yeah, the final push, there we go. 50 plates! Through the roof, literally. Yeah, they stood no chance against Hawkins. He makes the food, he's got to be good at eating it too, you know? And we also still get to celebrate on Kappa. Excellent. There was one chest, I believe, that I missed. Out on a manual on. I got a fire-up candy instead, which is not going to come in handy because that's literally the one thing we're not going to do in this run, is firing up. With that in mind, here is our next opponent for the next episode. The International All-Stars with Edelgar frontlining them. But yeah, that is something for next episode. I am pretty happy I got to cover everything I did in my initial recording this time, and with a bit less chaos, I want to say. So, yeah, for now we're going to head back to the club room, and I think I'll probably do another recruitment. to also make up for the lack of authenticity in this episode. Back in the club room, and as I said, we're going to do one more recruitment, because there is one recruitment I have yet to catch up on that I haven't accommodated just yet. It was one by Yoshi124, who wanted to see someone from Neo National, so we're going to backtrack to them, and I'm going to clear out these news, because otherwise I'm literally not going to be able to live with myself. They wanted to see Mr. Neil Turner, who they say is pretty flexible. You can put him almost anywhere because he has a long shot, which is true. He has access to Gungnir and also to Fire Tornado, which is pretty alright. I think he can make a pretty alright substitute for if we run out of forwards, as you saw in this episode. So, with that being said, welcome aboard, Mr. Turner, and thank you, Yoshi124, for your comment. And yeah, we've been having to push some characters aside, regrettably. We've had to forcefully make some room over the episodes, and I believe we will have to continue doing so, unless there are some characters that people really, really do not want on the team anymore. But yeah, to make sure we make some room for Neil, I'm going to give Samford the axe for now. Actually, no, that reminds me, there's something I completely forgot to do. We should pick up on the better version of Samford, actually, now that we've beaten Inazuma National. Like, there's literally no reason not to, right? And I suppose we could pick up on Inazuma National Nathan. I don't know how much that adds over Dark Empress Nathan. So I think for the time being, we'll just go for the better version of Samford, and that's where we'll call it a day for now. Because then we'll also just be out of points, pretty much. But yeah, better version of Samford. And that also means we get access to... yes, Kappa. But also to Royal Redux Samford. Now this guy is very potent. Has a dribble move and a shot. Gets access to S-Kick. And I would really like to use him. Of course, if the one who requested him in the first place is in agreement with that. Or I suppose if the overwhelming majority of you guys wants to see this guy instead of regular Samford. So let me know in the comments. And with that being said, we are not going to kick out Samford, well, we are in a way, but we are going to get his Inazuma National version instead. And in favor of someone, I'm going to put in Neil for the next match. I'm going to switch out Bellatrix for a tiny bit. She is going to return because we are inevitably going to get Supernova and Space Penguin, for which she will be an essential part. But for the time being, Neil is going to be put on the team here. He's going to see some mileage, going to see some time in the limelight in the next match against the Inazuma National All-Stars. Yes, let's go with that. But I believe with that being said, I should be very happy with what I've covered in this episode. I didn't think I'd be able to cover this much retroactively, but I did. And I hope you enjoyed this episode despite some of the minor hiccups that my recording screwing up has caused. Thank you very much for watching up to this point. As always, if you want to let me know you really did get up to this point, drop a happy birthday for me. I would really appreciate it. And as per usual, if you do want to see any characters on this team, any characters that you want me to recruit, then please leave a comment as well. I do read all the comments before the next episode, and I try to accommodate for all of them. And with that, I believe I finally run out of things to say. So, with that in mind, thank you once again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.